All right. We're good? We're live? Hit me up on Facebook. We're good on Facebook? Thank you. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, is day trading gambling? You might be surprised to hear my answer. We're going to go through all of that and so much more. Precise daily stock levels, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. So many interesting things to talk about here today. And basically, before we get started, by watching this video, you agreed to hold me and T3 harmless, not liable for anything that you might hear, see, read, watch, look at, think about on this video. If you do not agree to that, kindly exit this video right now. So I think it's a little bit more about an old wives' tale. And you might be surprised at my answer here, but we're going to try to answer the question, is day trading gambling? And the truth is, it's funny because there's so many situations out there, and it has to really do with the situation I believe that you're in. I can tell you, day trading can be gambling if you make it to be that way. My approach on day trading is it's all about consistency. It's all about what percentage of the time you're right, what percentage of the time you're wrong. I find it funny when gurus out there will post a positive, $10,000 P&L, but you look at their trades and they made money on 3 names and lost on 5 names, for example, or they made on 5 and lost on 5, and they have this subpar win percentage considering the trades. Of course, those type of traders also are shady, non-transparent, and probably hide other things such as their trading size and things like that because they're doing hundreds of microtransactions in between. But the thing with gambling is gambling has a really fixed odds system for every major game. In a casino, for example, we just had Josh coming back from Las Vegas, so well, trading in the markets is truly unpredictable. The houser market does not have any unfair advantage as they do with casino style games, and that is the biggest difference. If you're able to exercise extreme discipline and follow statistical strategies that work, hi, welcome to the Newsbeat live room. Um, you can profit in the market. However, if you approach the market with random abandonment, you like somebody because you think they have a nice smile and somebody talked you into it, the market can and will cause you serious pain. So I'm going to go over certain characteristics and certain ways that you could avoid it because the truth is trading is gambling if you want it to be, and trading is not gambling if you don't want it to be. Now, if you ask, a lot of traders, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, or wives, a lot of them will tell you it's gambling. Even family members, just ask it. And you'll always have the skeptical family member, oh, day trading is gambling. And that's why you lost money because it's gambling. And it's like, you have to realize there's a price to learn. Just because you're missing 3-point shots doesn't mean you're not going to be one of the most successful NBA players on the planet. Nothing has to be all or none. And that's something you have to realize. Just because you were stumbling over yourself at the Christmas party that you were last at doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. Usually, quite the contrary is true. It means you don't really drink that often and you were drinking a lot and you were stumbling for that reason. Um, just because you were, God forbid, in a car accident doesn't mean you do not know how to drive a car. So I don't like these very blanket statements out there because they're usually not true. So in an earlier segment, we were pointing out places where it's not, I don't even consider it gambling. I almost consider it an insured loss, where you have like 100% chance of losing, which would make it not gambling because you always have a chance of winning when you're gambling. You pull a slot machine, you have a chance of winning. You're at the blackjack table, you have a chance of winning. You're, playing roulette, you have a chance of winning. But there's certain rooms out there where the failure rate is over 99%. And I listed three types of gurus that you could follow. To me, when I see a trading guru this day, I could drop them off generally in three baskets. And if I can't drop them off in one of those three baskets, they're generally not making money. And they could be a good person, and I'd love to hang out with them, but they're generally not successful, but they're on their road trying to be successful the hard way. Now, the first group, and the important thing is because you're asking if trading is gambling, and I'm telling you it depends what you're doing and who you're following. So the first guru is the one that will talk about a sub 20-cent name, usually like between one less than a fraction of a penny to 20 cents. They'll buy 10 million shares of a penny name, which again is only like $100,000. They'll pump it out to a room. The stock can move to 2, 3, 4 cents, and they'll dump it and they'll make a quick 2, 3, 400 grand. And everybody else, good luck if you are buying into that because you were probably one of the people on the wrong side of that trade. That's one set of gurus they have. The other set of gurus is going to be, as I mentioned earlier, the second set is a guru who's not actually a trader. They're not actually trading their own account. So they'll tell you certain things like doubling down a bunch of times is okay, when in actuality, it's just about never okay. The only time doubling down in a trade is okay is if it was your plan before you opened up the trade immediately. Like, I want to buy 1,000 shares of a stock. I'm going to open up at 200 shares here, and if it pulls down, I'll add another 200. That's totally different. But 99.99999% of the time, there's gurus out there who are not trading, who lie to their traders or create an image as if they are trading. And those are the traders, the gurus that will blow you up. For the gurus out there who freely admit they're not trading and are a guru, they're a-okay. They're not lying to you. The third set of guru is probably the deadliest one out of the group, or equivalent to the first type of guru. That is the gray area, the sort of legal, sort of illegal, in the middle pump and dumper. And what they will usually do is just look at any guru who makes 99, 95, 99, 98, 97% of their money trading a 20 cents to $20 stock that is down 5% or more on the day, and they'll make all their money shorting that stock. Now, why is it a scam? If you watch my previous video, and why am I bringing this up to you now? Because I'm explaining you're not even gambling by following these traders. You're doing something completely different. You're literally throwing money inside a furnace and you're burning it. That's not gambling. You have practically 0% chance of hope. Practically. For every 100 traders that walk in a room like that, one of them will be successful because they're sort of doing their own stuff as well. And that's generally how those work. So why is it a scam? Because, for example, if you have a 20 cents to $20 name, let's say you have a $10 name, right? What these gurus will do is they'll exploit a loophole within the system that allows them to short shares and avoid the downtick rule. What happens is when you have these names that are gap down 5, 10, 15, 5% or more, it could be 30%, whatever the number is, what happens is all the institutions are looking to dump their shares, and institutional traders are under a strict set of laws that do not allow them to sell on a downtick when a stock is going down. So these little gray area pump and dump gurus, they'll come in, they'll short it on top, they'll short it a penny through when nobody else can short it, while you people on the Interactive Broker account, Schwab accounts, Thinkorswim accounts, TD Ameritrade accounts are unable to short it or unable to find locates a vast majority of the time to short these names. You just won't find it. And because these gurus are in prop accounts, and thankfully in these prop firms, you have some idiot on the other side. A lot of prop traders are extremely unintelligent traders, and I am putting it out there. And I love you guys. Think of it logically like this. Think of it, and it doesn't matter if you're winning or losing as a prop. If you're a prop trader, 99% chance you're losing right now. If I'm speaking to, so I know that I definitely raise some antennae by actually throwing this out in your face right now. But the thing is, if you're coming to an account, you're putting up 5 grand, and your prop firm out there is offering you 200 grand, 500 grand, 300 grand, whatever that number is. The problem with that ultimately is that you're going to be churning that money by following this guru, and a lot of those types of traders are buying the stock, buying stock XYZ, And then the guru, the pump and dump gray area guru who only knows how to make money for himself, and not really help a true number of people. For every person that guru helps, I promise you, there's 97, 98, 99 others in which he's destroying. See, the funny thing about trading, as you know, is that 100% of people do not make money and 100% of people do not lose money. These gray area gurus like to play those cards because you'll always have the one, two, three people in the room who make money, but you don't really get a lot of different people who are turning successful. The majority are losing, and you're caught in an environment in which, from what you see and what you smell, smells like you can do it, but it's just simply impossible. That guru is one of the most deadliest people to your trading account, because if you're following a guru like that who makes 95% of their money shorting 20-cent to $20 names, you are probably either already or within the process of blowing up your account. And if you want to, give me a heck yeah on YouTube or Facebook if that is you right now, because we're about to change it and make your life a lot better. So back to trading and gambling. I don't consider following those three sets of gurus gambling because simply they're blowing you up. It's not gambling. I mean, gambling insinuates you have a chance of winning. I don't think you really have an over 1% chance of winning. And when you go to a casino, you have much better odds than that. So I don't consider that gambling. Another thing, is trading really gambling? Well, here's the thing. Are you going all in every time? Like, are you like one of those traders who you go ahead and you buy a stock and, you have $100,000 in buying power, which is very modest for a prop trader, for example. And then what you do is you just slam in, you go like boom, you just like use all your buying power on these trades. Then the answer is you're probably gambling. You're probably gambling. Another thing is, do you find yourself over trading? Are you following a room that's just dropping 500,000 ideas on you? Now, granted, I'm exaggerating. You're not getting 500,000 ideas, but typical scam room gurus are throwing trade ideas at you all the time that have very, very low probability. I dare you to take the Pepsi challenge. I dare you to just spend one day. Prove me wrong. You know what? Don't even prove me. I know I'm right, but but maybe maybe the room that you're in right now, maybe the group you're following is right. I dare you to sit there and write down every single trade that the guru took, every single trade idea that you were able to take based on what you saw. Write it down on a sheet of paper. You got a little sheet of paper and a pen. Write it down on a sheet of paper and pen and tell me if you're right 70% of the time. Try that in my room. I'll take the Pepsi challenge. Try that in my room, and you will see that the trades that I am taking and executing upon are right 70% or more of the time. When you ask me, where would you buy a stock, Mark? Where would you go long? Where would you go short? If I give you an answer, that answer is going to be right, again, 70% of the time or more. And I'm talking to my room, which is a very large room right now, as well as you guys on the internet, you traders on the internet, and I dare you to put me under the same scrutiny in which I'm telling that you should put all the other rooms on. So again, let me fall under that as well. You like the 5 for 5, 6 for 6 on NVIDIA. We a lot of times do better than 70%, but that is always my goal, to be 70% or better. Because if you are following trades that are not 70% or better, statistically speaking, you are probably gambling, because you're going to suffer tons of psychological toxicity, much like you would at a casino if you were losing a lot. Come into it. How many people had an experience where you were in a casino and you came with whatever X? It doesn't even matter how many dollars it was. You probably bet more than you were comfortable with, whatever it was. It could have been two, three, four, $500. Could have been a few $1,000. Could have been 10, $20,000. You lost the money and you felt like shit. I say that for all the kids in the room. How many people have done that in a casino? I know I have, and and it felt horrible. And I was like, oh God, why did I do that? And then I noticed, like, I had a bad poker run. I lost with a full house of aces to quads in a game, and I spent probably 5, 6 hours turning $100 into like 700 and change on the table of playing no limit hold'em. And then a big shot came in, I had pocket aces. Flop came out ace, jack, jack, and I shoved. And he called, and he had pocket jacks. And after that, I felt bad. So I went and I took money out of the machine, the ATM machine, and I started playing slot machines, which is very atypical of Mark. And then I realized I felt like crap and everything was negative. This is when I turned 21, by the way. So must have been like 1 or 2 weeks ago, probably, 1 or 2 weeks ago. So here's the thing. If you find yourself over trading, gamblers will often try to bet themselves out of a hole. How many of you traders out there increase size, share size, or option size after your account is down? How many traders do that out there? Oh my God, this Mark Melnick guy is talking to me. He knows me. He knows me. Luckily for you, this is a very common thing and a very common thing we fix in our rooms. You can display similar behavior with the market if you go on a bad run. Gamblers often try to bet themselves out of a hole. No matter how good you are as a trader, you're going to encounter dry spells eventually. My dry spells are very low, quick, and I'm still right 70% of the time. If you are trading in a room where the usually you'll be right 40 to 50% of the time, usually about 45% of the time. Most of the calls in the room you're in right now might be correct. It's funny because most traders can't actually do the 50-50 thing. It's going to feel like the market is going against you. You're going to feel like you're unable to pick a winner. And, you're going to sit there. You're probably going to get depressed. You're probably going to have trouble getting out of bed. You're probably going to look at your account. You're going to probably feel like a failure. And then all the negativity of trading is going to suddenly encompass you. That is why trading psychology is so important. And of course, I'll always have the one dude out there say, Mark, why are you talking about trading psychology? Do you have a degree in psychology? And again, coming from a position like that, either the argument I'm making is right or the argument I'm making is wrong. If you feel the argument I'm making is wrong, go ahead, make a counter argument. But if you're coming from the position that I actually have to be you know, have a psychology major to talk about psychology. I'm quoting Ivy League psychological studies, and thankfully, I have enough brain cells in my head where I can interpret them properly and display them and transfer them to you analogically through my words. So before you say something stupid or think something stupid, let me just stop you right there. We can talk about psychology. I don't need to be a professional NASCAR driver to drive a vehicle either when I go pick up groceries from the store. I don't need to do that for a living either. With that being said, that is gambling. Another thing is, are you using credit to trade above and beyond margin? This is the whole prop trading argument, where you take out 10 grand and you have 500 grand in buying power. Of course, the why that I don't consider that gambling so much is, as soon as you're approaching the 10 grand limit, the risk managers are going to start cutting out the type of losses you can take. So, obviously, under no circumstances would I ever recommend you taking credit cards or loans out to place money in the market. Think about it. The market already provides you enough. You have so much margin through options that allow you to trade above the available cash on hand. I mean, we were showing you an example earlier of a dude who's trading with $400 or $500 maximum options per trade, scalping it, making $1,200 with us on Friday. Besides for the other traders who are making several thousand to five-figure days on Friday with us, trading NVIDIA as we did. Another thing that would be justifiably a gambler is, do you have erratic mood swings? Do you have erratic mood swings? A major sign that you are a gambler when it comes to trading is that you have mood swings that fly all over the place. Person can be high as a kite one day and then completely depressed the next. How many people here, and you don't have to admit it to me, I know you, because I'm a PhD in psychology from XYZ University and it's an Ivy League school. How many of you guys out there are nastier to your loved ones when you have a down day and nicer to your loved ones when you have a good day? Not that you want to do it intentionally. I'm not saying you're an ass. I'm saying you're probably a good person. How many of people have done that before? All of a sudden, the smallest little thing, and you'll explode because you had a down day. This sort of behavior comes from the highs of obviously winning and only to be replaced by depression from big losers. That's why if you're in a 50-50 room, you're going to be a psychological mess. Rooms that throw trading ideas that think they're giving you good trading rewards are 99% of the time BS. Uh, uh, Here's a trading idea. Buy XYZ at 10 bucks, sell it at 11, have a stop at $9.75. Ooh, I'm only risking a quarter to make a dollar. That's a great risk reward. Thank you. Wow. Well, what percentage of the time does that work? Or is that taking in psychological capital as well? That you're going to be psychologically screwed taking those trades as you lose them? Nobody talks about that. People think that trading is all just about your P&L. Don't worry, I did too at one point. I'm going to teach you how you can change that. Trading, if not treated as a business, can have the same effects on your relationships. You're going to find yourself avoiding your loved ones. Talking to a divorced man over here, once divorced man, happily remarried, thankfully divorced man, happily remarried, because you don't want to face the music if they ask you how your day is or how your trading is going. Wow, Mark, how did he know? You're going to start to find time with your family as a distraction from your very important task of performing more and more market analysis. Your family will not know which guy they will encounter after each trading day. Some days you are completely normal, while on other days they would rather have dinner with a sociopath versus dealing with you. Trading should have no impact on your emotions if you are preserving psychological capital. The strategies we do in the Newsbeat live room are already pre-built and designed to increase your psychological capital. How many hundreds of you guys in the room right now emailed me saying, Mark, my psychology is up? You know how many emails I got from people saying, Mark, my wife noticed like I'm a completely different man right now. I'm not making a lot of money. I'm making about $8,000 a month, which is, again, not a lot, but not a little for some people. He's averaging $400 a trading day, so he's making 8 grand a month. And he literally came to me and said, "My wife noticed a difference in my personality since I joined your room, and she made me sign up for another year." How many emails do I get like that? My wife was so shocked when you called me. She couldn't believe that somebody in my industry cared so much about me. That's the type of feedback I get. The next thing is trading gambling is, do you have trading rules? Now, a lot of people talk about this. Trading effectively boils down to a number of fixed rules that govern how you conduct your business. If part of those rules are not designed for consistency, you're going to blow up your psychological capital. Do not think the number on your screen is the most important part of trading. It is secondary. Once you have high psychological capital, you are going to be a successful trader. You will. You will. You know how many traders, when they first started trading, they did it well, and then as time went on, they started losing? They had no psychological damage from trading when they started, and as trading went on, they gained psychological damage. They made money at the expense of their psychological capital. Now they're trying to make money 5 years later. They think they should be a better trader now with all they experienced and learned, and all of a sudden they can't trade anymore if their life depends on it. They couldn't trade their way out of a urine-soaked brown paper bag if they bash their face against it, which sounds disgusting, 100 times over. So when you're trading, your rules need to have they need to take into account your psychological capital. Well, Mark, what do you mean? How do I put psychological capital in my trading rules? Very simple. You have to be right 70% of the time or more, or you're going to try to be that one out of 100,000 person. You know the people who are making money who are not right 70% of the time, they burn out. They burn out. How many of those people do you know out there talk about retiring or quitting or already looked for other work or started investing in other businesses because they see themselves burning out? You will burn out. You want to know why I'm here 20 years later talking to you as an active intraday trader? Because I went through the meat grinder and I figured it out. And to me now, trading is the easiest, most I'm looking forward to job on the world. I can't wait to trade tomorrow. While a lot of people with losing accounts are like, oh God, is it going to be one of those days again? Your strategy should be right 70% of the time. Doesn't matter how much money you make. As soon as you don't care about the amount of money you make, is as soon as you become a seven-figure trader. Take it from me. I'm living proof of it. Just take it from me. Stop caring about your P&L. Just worry about being right. Not only that, even when you're wrong, that's okay. That's good to be wrong too. Throw away your position. You're wrong, throw it away. You're right, throw it away. You're wrong, throw it away. You're right, throw it away. Mark, this mentality of constantly throwing away your positions. I'm all of a sudden not taking big losses. I'm taking very modest wins, but I'm taking a lot of modest wins. And now my psychological capital is huge and growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And all this toxicity that I had before is slowly dissipating from my brain. And now I'm making more money magically. How did it happen? It's just like one day it was like, Eureka, I figured it out. Have to be right. Another thing is, to some traders, is the market your entire universe? So let me talk about this. So I would say that probably out there, I'm one of the more passionate people when it comes to trading. Hence why I'm spending time with you. I did a 2-hour video on my day off today. Sent my wife to the mall with her mother-in-law and or my mother-in-law and our kids. Told her to go shopping so I could sit here and do a video with you guys. And she came back, and I'm going to give her a foot massage tonight, and I'm here doing another video with you. However, I am probably one of the most passionate people when it comes to the market because I give an SHIT about helping people. I don't know how many other gurus were on the phone with you guys today, how many gurus spent the day answering emails, and how many gurus spent a few hours doing videos with you. I don't know how many gurus did that. My guess is probably not a lot. The reason why is they don't feel any need to serve the community in which supported them, not to the point in which I am. So many different degrees of I love you, right? So another thing is the market your entire universe? And this is another thing when it comes to is trading gambling. Do you find yourself, for example, talking about the market with everyone you encounter? You go to like the local McDonald's, you order a Big Mac, and you somehow make the correlation with the bread to the current trend of the S&P 500, for example. If you find yourself you no longer have any desire to enjoy the smaller things in life, you're obviously going to head down the path of losing yourself by focusing on the market so much. This is very similar to the behavior of a gambler who completely shuts out the entire world to focus on their game of choice. Simple tasks like putting your kids to bed or eating with your family will be too laborious. Another thing is, do you deny that you have a problem with your trading? Um, if you're trading poorly, odds are there's going to be one person that will know that fact. If you're married, it's likely your spouse, either because you share this bit of information because of your loving relationship and great communication between each other, or it's because of the shrinking joint account balance. At some point, your spouse or close friend will confront you about your losses. It could be a family member as well. This confrontation will likely be awkward as they will not have a firm understanding of how the market works, but on a common sense level, will know that whatever you are doing is not working. When confronted, a trader that is gambling will deny everything no matter what. So if you're losing money, you deny it, and you like being part of the pump and dump crew, and you like, shorting $10 names and, and watching people do it effectively while you can't borrow the shares and can't do it effectively, and you like this pump and dump because, this trader has almost a $0 commission rate as close as possible, and you have a $4 or $5 per thousand share commission rate, making the trades that the guru is doing impossible to follow. If that is you and you're denying any problems in the market, you are probably a gambler. The gambler trader will likely take it even a step further, and you probably have done it, and begin attributing their market losses to some inefficiency in the market. Never will it be about his or her trading. It'll always be someone else's fault of why they can't turn a profit. If really pressed, the gambler will act out in such a fashion that the close friend will probably avoid discussing trading or money with them ever again to avoid future conflicts. Does this sound like something that's happened to you before? Do you find that the market or some insiders are always out to get you, which is why you can't win? It's those it's those effing boxes, those black boxes, those Ford Motor Company black boxes. It's them. That's the reason why you're losing money, right? So, in conclusion, I find the two biggest reasons why traders are gamblers, and again, and even if you're not a gambler, that could be a problem if you're following the wrong person, is most people trade they do so sloppily. Where the line begins to cross sloppy investing and outright gambling is the frequency of the violations of the questions that I brought up to you during this video. You have to just be honest with yourself. If you are day trading and violate anything that I am talking about, you are very likely going to fail at trading. I know that sounds harsh, but it is the grim reality of the market. The market has a crazy way of separating people from their money when they act erratically. To see how I can help you, this is what I do. So now let's talk about what we could do, to help you in the market. So first things first, is we have very honest, straightforward strategies. The amount of emails that I receive in a day from traders who, and again, I know I showed this chart as an example before, but every single arrow you see is somebody making money in the room. Every single arrow. I explained it, but this is all done in real time ahead of time. How would you like it to know that a guru is going to short something or buy something minutes before it happens, so you could set up with your trade order and everything? Are your gurus offering that? What if your guru did extensive videos on the internet explaining why these strategies work? What if a guru actually took the time to statistically analyze every one of these strategies you see to know what percentage of the time they're correct? What if that guru spent all day with you with a 2-hour video doing a live Q&A for the members of their room, as well as for the public in the community? How many of those gurus out there were on the phone with you, spending their time with you out of the goodness of their heart because they truly want you to succeed, as opposed to nickeling and diming you for another false product that is BS and is ineffective? How many people out there? And I call on these gurus to step up their game, because this is the epitome of evil. And how many of the gurus that you're following could have you put in those three baskets that I gave you earlier? For me, I have met one guru in my life right now that does not fit in that basket, in those three baskets. I don't even want to say his name. But he's a struggling trader and he's not making money, but he's honest. One guru out there that I've met that's like that. See, the problem with running a room is it's always turned into a business. There's a lot of marketing dollars that go in. And while other gurus are making 50 to 100% of their money running a room, I'm making less than 2% of my annual income running the Newsbeat live room. Hopefully that will change. I'm trying to get it to 5%, but hopefully that will change. You can bridge good trading with honesty and try to help people get to that level. And the people you need to fight for are the people who are struggling. Those are the people that you need to fight for. Those are the people that you need to reach out to. There's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, why we're so successful here. There's a reason we do it, and there's a reason why your trading does not have to be gambling. So, in fact, I want to show you tomorrow's levels today. If you want to believe that I have a time travel machine, that's okay. I went in the future and I picked out these algorithmic levels. When these levels hit support, I tend to have a good buying opportunity. When these levels hit resistance, I get to have a good shorting opportunity. And these are the levels for February 19th. Not only that, when these levels actually hit, you actually get them in real time. Were you aware of that? Were you aware of that, that you actually get these levels in real time? That these levels are actually working on a real time basis? So did you know on February 14th, we actually gave you the level 154.15 right over here when IWM was going up right before it plummeted over a point. Not only that, you get the price alerts in real time. So even if you're working your secondary job or whatever, you will know right away when a certain resistance level hits you. It gets texted and tweeted to your phone. Do you realize how many Newsbeat Live members don't have time to come in the room because they're working a 9 to 5, but they're growing their trading account substantially just by a little tweet, just by buying puts or shorting IWM when they see an alert like that? So we're alerting you to these things every day. We're going above and beyond to try to bring you the absolute best stuff in the community. We are the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. But not only that, tonight, ending tonight with a timer, you can actually get, you can actually get $1,000 off the Newsbeat Live room. Take your trading to that level. Stop being part of a room that took advantage of you. If you're in a room that is part of those three baskets of traders that I shared with you, it's not gambling. Gambling again insinuates that you have a chance of winning. You have no chance of winning. And I know a lot of you guys out there have your eyes open right now because you're probably like, oh my God, Mark just described me. But somebody has to tell you sooner than later. It's better late than never. And I promise you that. Be part of the Newsbeat Live room. Be part of a room that gives transparency on their trades. Be part of a room that doesn't nickel and dime you for these overnight services. Be part of a room that doesn't nickel and dime you for a Twitter service. Be part of a room that you actually have the largest group of consistent traders on the internet. Again, happy trading, make money, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. You could go to t3live.com and just use promo code 1000, 1000, and you will have access for $1,000 off an annual Newsbeat Live subscription, which is again our President's Day special. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.